So, did you know the original version from Australia?
I knew the scripts. I read the scripts before I signed on to this. It had just started when I was talking to them about doing the show. The Australian one had just started airing, and then I made a choice at some point not to watch it. I'm going to when I have time now, but I did read the scripts and I couldn't put them down. The Australian series was 6 episodes. Ours is 10. I read all 6 like in back to back to back. I was that caught up in the story and wanting to find out what happened.
And for this particular TV show, did you have the 10 episodes in the script?
No, not when we started. When we started, we shot the pilot, obviously, and then, and then by the time we got going again, there were only episode 2 and 3 to read, and so then it was, even knowing generally where the story went, there were a lot of surprises because we were adding more story, and those weren't written when we started, no.
So, as an actor, is it difficult for you to play a character not knowing what your character is supposed to know because you don't have the script?
Well, I mean, I think there's part of that that's fun, and I think it was a lot of fun for the rest of the cast who even knew less than I did about the story. But I'm playing an innocent man in his mind. Whether or not that's true, we'll find out. But that was my goal, was this guy does not believe there's any chance that he did this, and so that's how I'm playing him. And then it's left up to the audience's mind, to the editing, to all of these other things that plant the doubt, that make you say, okay, well, maybe he did. Look at the way he's acting right now. That's kind of what's fun about the character.
So you play ambiguity on purpose?
Yeah, well, to an extent, or you allow yourself to play the truth of the moment, and then the rest of it is reliant on the producers and how they put the show together, But I try not to think about that so much when I'm doing it. You want to stay in the truthful energy and reaction of what you imagine, this guy is going through.
There has been a lot of shows in the last years about these homicide stories in limited run. 6 episodes, 10 episodes about just one case. So what do you think that's that? Because those type of TV shows didn't exist before.
No, they didn't. I mean, there were miniseries in the past. There were great big miniseries and things like that. This is different. And I think it's indicative of the new way we like to consume entertainment. The way that people like to binge watch a show on Netflix, or this idea that your investment, you understand from the very beginning, you're going to know in 8 weeks the answer. So it's not going to go on for 6 seasons, and you have to. So I think there's something about the immediate gratification of that I like, and that I believe an audience will like, because you're going to know that your experience with this thing will have a beginning, middle, and end that you can already understand and see.
The wrong accused man is very Hitchcockian in terms.
Yeah.
So did you go to other films or the TV shows that were you?
There were a few things that I thought, The Fugitive was something that it reminded me of, because my character's goal is to clear his name before he's arrested, by finding out who the actual killer is in his mind. And then, there was a French documentary called The Staircase. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It was a 12-episode documentary about a man who was accused of murdering his wife, and you see every part of the process. You see him meeting with defense attorneys and so there were things like that I had seen in the past that I related to. But more than anything else, as a dad, as someone who sees himself as a regular person, it was about putting myself in that position. Like, what if you have a brother or father who you've known your whole life, and they're suddenly accused of a murder that you could never believe they did, but the media and the detectives and so it was sort of like trying to feel like what that experience would be.
Okay, well, good luck with the show.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you.